HTML bookmarks with ID and links. HTML bookmarks are used to allow readers to jump to specific parts of a web page. Bookmarks can be useful if your page is very long. To use a bookmark, you must first create it and then add a link to it. Then the link is clicked. The page will scroll to the location with the bookmark. Example: first, create a bookmark with the ID attribute. So in this case we have an example. We have a heading 2 with ID equal sign. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have the C4. We close the angle brackets of the heading 2, then we have the content, chapter 4, then we end the H2 tag. Then we're gonna add a link to the bookmark, jump to chapter 4 from within the same page. And we do that by having the A element. We have the href attribute equal sign. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have the number sign, the C4. We close the angle brackets, we have the content, jump to chapter 4, and then we end the A tag. And we're gonna click here, try it yourself to see the code. I'm gonna grab this code here, I'm gonna select all. I'm gonna go to Visual Studio Code. I have a file named index.html. I'm gonna paste it here, I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna open it. Let's see how it looks like. So we have this piece of code, and if we click jump to chapter 4, it's gonna get us here to chapter 4. If I click to jump to chapter 10, it's gonna get us to chapter 10. So we're gonna check out the code right now. I'm gonna make it a little bigger. Okay, so in line 5 we have a paragraph. Then inside of the paragraph we have an A element. We have an href equal sign. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have the number sign, and we're gonna have the C4. Then we're gonna have the text jump to chapter 4. In line 6 we're gonna have again a paragraph, an A element, and an href. And in this case it's gonna have inside of the double quotes number sign C10 is gonna jump to chapter 10. So that is that. And then we're gonna have a bunch of heading 2s and paragraphs. So from lines 8 to 9 we're gonna have a heading 2 with chapter 1. We're gonna have a paragraph. This chapter explains this stuff. We're gonna have from lines 11 to 12 chapter 2. This chapter explains blah blah blah. So there's nothing special from chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. But now in chapter 4, in line 17, we have a heading 2, and this time we have an ID. We have an ID with C4. So the ID matches the href number sign C4. So we have the ID C4. The content is going to be chapter 4, and the paragraph is going to be this chapter explains. So when we click the C4, it's going to get us to the chapter 4. And then again we're gonna go to chapter 5, nothing special. Chapter 6, nothing special. Chapter 7, chapter 8, 9. But when we go to chapter 10, in line 35 we have a heading 2, and we have an ID, and the ID inside of the double quotes is gonna be C10, chapter 10. This chapter explains blah blah blah. And it's gonna be the line 6. We have a paragraph, the A element, href, and the ID is gonna be the number sign C10. So when we click here, when we click the C10, it's gonna send us to the chapter 10. So that's what's happening here, and we already saw this example. We're gonna go, and you see here jump to chapter 4, jump to chapter 10. That is the text that we have to write here. You can just omit this and just go straight chapter 10, chapter 4. We can save it. We're gonna go to our website, and now you have chapter 4. You click it and it's gonna send us to chapter 4. You go to chapter 10, and again it's gonna send us to chapter 10. So that is that for that example. Then okay, so that is that. Or add a link to the bookmark, jump to chapter 4 from another page. So for example, let's say I go to, let's say chapter 10. I'm gonna just grab chapter 10, and okay, what is the, let's grab this example. We're gonna go to Visual Studio Code, and we're gonna go to the line 8. So we're gonna have an 8 element. We have a href, and inside of the double quotes we're gonna have a link. And I'm gonna copy the link for the, okay, I'm gonna go to chapter 10. I'm gonna copy this whole link here that I have, and I'm gonna paste it exactly inside of the double quote. So I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna refresh it. So now I have jumped to chapter 4. Well, I'm gonna change it, so it's gonna say jump to chapter 10. I'm gonna save it and let's see what happens. So if I click it, it sends me again to chapter 10. So I put the whole URL inside of the href. So that is that for that example. And now we have using the ID attribute in JavaScript. The ID attribute can also be used by JavaScript to perform some tasks for that specific element. JavaScript can access an element with a specific ID with the getElementById method. In the previous video we saw getElementByClass method. Now we're gonna see the getElementById method, and you have to put here the parentheses. So we have this example here. We're gonna click and try it yourselves to see what is the code here. Let's try it. So I'm gonna grab this whole example. I'm gonna go to Visual Studio Code. I'm gonna delete everything here. I'm gonna paste it. Okay, we have a heading 2 in line 5 using the ID attribute in JavaScript, so nothing special here. Now we have in line 6 we have a paragraph. JavaScript can access an element with a specified ID by using the getElementById method. Okay, now we go to line 9. We have a heading 1. We have an ID =, double quotes, and we're gonna have my header. So the context is gonna be hello YouTube. Okay, we're gonna save it. And now in line 10 we're gonna have a button element. We're gonna have an onClick event =, double quotes, and inside of the double quotes we're gonna have a function, and the name of this function is display result, and we put parentheses here. Now the text for this button is gonna be change text. So if we go to our website, you can see using the ID attribute in JavaScript, JavaScript can access an element with a specified ID by using the getElementById method. We have the hello YouTube and change text. So we're alone up to this point, and now we're gonna use JavaScript. And to do that, we can create a new file and name it index or whatever .js, but we're gonna work inside from the HTML element inside this file. So we're gonna use the script element, and you can read this information if you want, if you mouse over it. And inside of the script element we're gonna declare a function, and the function name is gonna be display result. So you have function display result with parentheses. Inside of the curly braces we're gonna put document that getElementById, and inside of the parentheses, inside of the double quotes, we're gonna have the ID. And what is the ID name? The ID name is this one, my header. So now we're gonna chain it, document that getElementById, we're gonna chain it to the inner.html. So that's what's gonna happen is we're gonna override this message. This message has hello YouTube. So we're gonna override it, and to do that we put =, then double quotes, and here we can override it. So we can have I don't know, have a great day, have a great day. Okay, and we're gonna save it. When you click the button change text, it's gonna change the text from hello YouTube to have a great day. So we're gonna go to our website, we're gonna refresh it, and we're gonna click change text, and it's gonna change this text, hello YouTube, change text, have a great day. So that's how you do how you use JavaScript here. And you can open the Ctrl+Shift+I to open the Chrome elements, and you can check out this parts here and the elements. So you have the paragraph, the heading 1, you have the button here. That is that. Yeah, finally we have the chapter summary. The ID attribute is used to specify a unique ID for an HTML element. the value of the ID attribute must be unique within the HTML document. The ID attribute is used by CSS in JavaScript to style/select a specific element. The value of the ID attribute is case sensitive. The ID attribute is also used to create HTML bookmarks. JavaScript can access an element with a specific ID with the getElementById method.